Happy Saturday, everybody. Nunya, you are first. Whoop, 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 whoop. I thought I was going to be late because we all know, like clockwork, I go push that live button and Woo Woo's like, I gotta go, like clockwork. So I thought I was going to be late, but he actually hurried up and did his business, and I came back with 18 seconds to spare. So I'm going to wait. I know it's early. I'm sure a lot of people were up late last night. I actually just spent time with my husband. Woo Woo had to pee. Yep, like clockwork. But no, actually, I spent time with my husband last night. We're watching a show on Netflix. It's a series, and it's actually really good. It's kind of reminds me of like CSI, but um uh a country version, I guess you would say. Good morning, Jason. It's more like it's called Longmere. It's on Netflix, and it's actually really good. But it's about a sheriff and three deputies, and stuff happens and they have to try to solve the case. It's really cool. So me and my husband have been watching that together because it's a little bit um something he would enjoy, because I always watch stuff with crime and my husband is like, really, another crime show, you know. So it's a happy medium for both of us. So we've been watching it. So if anybody's, yeah, it's called, let me see how to spell it. It's on Netflix. It's actually a really good series. My husband was just looking for something with more seasons than just like 2 seasons or 3 seasons, and he found this and just randomly clicked on it, and we actually it's Longmire. It's an American drama series, but it's um like police work, you know? It's really cool. So if anybody's looking for some kind of series to watch, that's it. Here, I'll type it in the chat. Longmere. Oh, of course I'm not typing. Go figure. Um, yeah, right. Yeah, that's how you spell it. Did I spell it right? No, I didn't. Darn it. Longmire. Let me remove that. Oh, I can only put myself in timeout, or I can block myself. It took me 2 years to watch I loved Son of Anarchy, Jason. Loved it. Gemma, the girl from what the heck show was it? Married with Children. I think she played an amazing part. I loved her as Gemma on that. So, I know it's early. Usually I don't do crime this early in the morning, but some stuff had broke yesterday, and um like I said, I was not on my computer yesterday. I was pretty much spending family time. I had errands to run, blah blah blah, you know. It was the best damn show ever. I could literally watch it all over again. That I that is one of the shows that I could just watch over and over. Good morning, Bailey. So usually I don't do crime early in the morning because a lot of people are like, really, crime in the morning? Nobody wants to wake up and hear crime in the morning. But I want to get this out because for one, there's an update on the case. For two, Caitlyn is being laid to rest today. So prayers for the Kaufman family. I know that they're going to have a tough day today and it's going to be a long road, but her mother's wish came true. She was really hoping that before Caitlyn was laid to rest, that they would have an arrest in the case, and they did as of yesterday. But what I find interesting in this case, which we'll get to, is I believe this man should have not have been walking the streets. So, but there's a couple of interesting things. They're not saying if it was, they're saying it's definitely random. They're saying that Caitlyn did not know. Good morning, Charlie girl. That Caitlyn did not know the guy in custody, which I will get to in a second, Jolene. Good morning. And so they did not know each other, but they're not saying the cause. So why don't we start off with a clip from the news conference yesterday? Let's start off with that. Hold on. Let me get to it. I think it's this one. Share audio. Let me make sure it is. Let me get it to big screen. Let me get back to them. Let's hope. I think it will do a commercial. Okay. Oh, let me get to when they start talking.
Update the homicide investigation into the murder of Caitlyn Kaufman. Speaking with you this morning will be Chief John Drake, followed by Detective Chris Dickerson, our lead investigator in this case. Also with us this morning, Sergeant Byron DeWalt of the homicide unit, who is the immediate supervisor of the squad.
I was hoping to show you guys the quick one instead of the long one, but hopefully this will do it.
Good morning. At 6:15 this morning, members of our MNPD SWAT team arrested Devontae Lewis Hill, age 21, for the murder of Nashville nurse Caitlyn Kaufman. Hill was taken into custody without incident at his
Captain Obvious. Good morning.
On Porter Road in East Nashville. Hill was brought to police headquarters where he was interviewed by homicide unit detectives Chris Dixon and Jefferson Hughes. And without going into detail, which I cannot do at this point, Hill gave a statement implicating himself in Caitlyn's murder. This investigation is continuing and cannot rule out the possibility of additional arrests. A major break came in this case within an hour of the announcement that an anonymous group of Nashville businessmen and entrepreneurs posted a $50,000 reward.
Yeah, so it ended up being $65,000 altogether.
Persons involved in the rewards are dads who have families in Nashville and love Nashville deeply, and I thank them for their contribution. A concerned citizen came forward Thursday afternoon and identified Hill as a suspect. The concerned citizen also provided information about the whereabouts of the 9mm used in the murder. Our detectives located the gun Thursday night. We called in our ballistic experts overnight at the crime laboratory to do an immediate analysis. That gun was test fired, and we have a 100% match of the 3 9mm shell casings found on the corner of the road at I-440 the night Caitlyn. In addition, that Hill's cell phone was in the vicinity the night Caitlyn was killed. As you know, from day one, our team of detectives from a homicide unit has worked around the clock on this case. They have been joined by scientists from our crime laboratory, MNPD electronics experts, and partners of the FBI, ATF, and TBI.
There's something interesting
thank
about
these
where
men and
he
women
lives
enough
too, and
who are
I'll get
here
to that.
today has been working tirelessly. I thank you all for your hard work. I would like to ask our lead detective, Chris Dixon, to say a few words.
Thank you, Chief. Good morning. At 3:37 this morning, I swore out a criminal homicide warrant against Devontae L. Hill. It was a culmination of hundreds of hours of relentless work by the homicide unit, my team here, SID, and many others.
God bless the
police
men who
department and
raised
law
the
enforcement
money.
departments.
Absolutely,
While it was a
Samara.
relief to be able to sign the arrest warrant, it was an exceptional relief to be able to call Caitlyn Kaufman, who is back in Pennsylvania right now. She's back in Pennsylvania. She returned to Pennsylvania yesterday to prepare for Caitlyn's funeral, which is on Saturday. Devontae Hill was brought to police headquarters this morning. He did consent to an interview. He did implicate himself in Caitlyn's murder. At this time, I cannot elaborate beyond that for now. This is the support of Nashville and the strong support of the Kaufman family as we have worked to advance this case. Again, we are not finished, but I'm glad to be in the position we are this morning. Thank you very much.
Okay, so let me stop screen sharing. So if you guys remember, in the beginning of this case, when Caitlyn's body car was found on the side of I-440, it was the exit. She was found on the exit of Border Hill Road, the same place that Devontae lives. So he was obviously not far from home. The other thing that I found interesting is because a lot of people, which we don't know, are speculating, was she driving when the shots were fired and she rolled to the side of the road and hit the guardrail? Or was she parked and somebody rolled up and shot her? A lot of people speculated that they felt like it was road rage. The way it's looking right now, which who knows? I mean, it's still early in the investigation, but it does look like it was probably road rage. But what I caught that I found interesting is that they found the shell casings on the road. So now that means that he either had to have his hand out the window with the gun to shoot 6 times, because you would think that if he was inside the car, that the shell casings would be inside his car, not on the roadway. So I found that very interesting. So either he had to have his arm out the window and shot her 6 times. Mind you, the first one that hit her is what made her pass away within 15 seconds. Or was she on the side of the road and he pulled up behind her, got out of the car, and shot at her 6 times standing on the road? Because I found it very interesting that the person that came to investigators and broke this case knew where the gun was, brought them to the gun, but I found it interesting to hear that the bullet casings were on the road. The other strange thing is, let me tell you a little bit about Devontae. Devontae is 21 years old. He lives in Nashville. He lives at like I said, hold on, let me get to all my notes. Let me see. He lives at the an apartment complex on Porter Road. Now, mind you, she was found at the exit of Porter Road. So, police reports it appears Hill and Kaufman did not know each other. A motive or details about what led up to the deadly shooting has not been released. What I ended up digging into is that Hill is a 21-year-old Nashville native who has lived at the apartment complex on Porter Hill Road, where it appears he has lived most of his life, according to the courts and Tennessee records. Previous Tennessee records report shows he lived with his grandmother, who died in 2018, at the apartment. Hill went by Tay to family members. At the age of 16, Devontae was arrested after he had shot his grandmother, his 12-year-old sister, and 6-year-old nephew during an argument about going to school. The teen also tried to shoot his mother, who hid behind the couch to avoid gunfire. Hill was charged with attempted murder in the shooting in juvenile court. His family members recovered from the wounds. Hill's social media profile shows that he's an amateur rapper with 2 children, both of whom are young. The youngest is a toddler. When he was 3 years old, Hill was mauled by a group of dogs at his home on Porter Hill Road. Tennessee reports that at the time, the 6 dogs attacked Hill's face, arms, and legs, and back. So, this means that this boy, man, 21 years old, has got a checkered past. How is it at 16 years old he can shoot a 12-year-old, a 6-year-old, his grandmother, attempt to shoot his mother, which his other baby brother was in the room, which didn't get hurt by, random shots being shot. But he was charged with attempted murder at 16. But here he is, 21, and he's walking the streets. I think it's senseless. I get that they're juveniles and, but he tried to shoot 3 of his family members. 3. And probably all because he didn't want to go to school, mind you. That is why he shot all his family members. And now his sister has spoken out, saying that Devontae has always had anger issues. Shocker. So let's see what the sister has to say. I think there's a video. If not, I don't think there is. Let me look real quick. I'm not looking at chat. Sorry. Hello, everybody that has come in, and I have not said hello to you. Good morning. Happy Saturday. Let's see. All right. So here's the story about when he was 16. As neighbors and residents awoke Tuesday morning to head to school, work, or vote in Tennessee presidential primaries, a 16-year-old boy argued with his family members about going to class. He grabbed a gun out of a closet and opened fire, wounding 3 of his relatives. He lived in the Berkshire Place apartments, and the shooting forced nearby schools and voting to briefly go in lockdown. Now, 2 of the teen's older siblings are speaking out, questioning what led him to pull the trigger. But they say they are not surprised he got a gun in his hands. Only he knows why he did what he did. We don't. That's in his head. The teen's 27-year-old sister, Frederica, said Wednesday as she stood outside the apartment. Family members have not had the chance to speak with the teen since Nashville police detained him after investigators say he grabbed a 9mm handgun from his bedroom closet and shot his 67-year-old grandmother, 12-year-old sister, and 6-year-old nephew. The two children, who each suffered minor wounds in the shooting, have been released from the hospital. Their grandmother, who was shot twice, remains in stable condition. The teen also tried to shoot his 42-year-old mother in the home's living room, but police say the woman ducked behind a couch. The teen's 2-year-old sister was also nearby, but was not struck by the bullets. The teen remained detained Wednesday. He was arrested, obviously. Williams said their mother was shook up to talk Wednesday and described her younger brother as a quiet teen who liked video games and often hung out with neighborhood boys in the apartment complex in the past. There were times when her brother did not want to get up for school, but he never was violent about it. But he has a short temper when he gets mad. He has anger issues, the sister said. Joe Williams, the teen's 19-year-old brother, said he and his family have no idea where the brother got a gun. Well, obviously it was in the closet because it says he got it from the closet. But he said he wasn't surprised he got his hands on on the gun and blamed it on the neighborhood the family lives in and the wrong crowd the brother hangs out with. It's all about kids in these kind of environments, Joe Williams says. It might look pretty, but somewhere in the neighborhood there's a bad apple. Joe Williams said previously sat his brother down to chat with him about the crowd he hung out with. I told him, don't be a follower, but a leader, hanging his head and turning silence. So the shooting in the latest incident, violence involving a young adult in Nashville. So yeah. So basically, this guy is definitely no good. And I'm glad he's behind bars. I'm glad that the Kaufmans are going to be able to have justice. I'm glad that it comes the day before she is laid to rest. As we all know, she is being laid to rest this morning in Pennsylvania, which my heart goes out to the family. But yeah, it's pretty crazy to know. So what did he do? He gets attempted murder at 16. And what is he? Released at 18 because he was a juvenile? I mean, I get the juvenile record thing. That, they're young, their brains are not developed, they make accidents. I get that. But I think there are certain things that it has nothing to do with your brain. Okay, so you get arrested for breaking and entering and stealing something. Okay, as a juvenile, go to jail. Get out at 18. But when you are charged with attempted murder to your family members, and there's no discrepancy that he did it or not, everybody knows he absolutely did it. How is it that he only does 2 years? I get that kids get accused, of murder and you don't know because the person's dead and there's no eyewitnesses or whatever. So did they really do it? Did they not? Okay, I get that. But when you know for a fact that without a shadow of a doubt, this 16-year-old shot his grandmother, a 12-year-old sister, and a 6-year-old nephew because he didn't want to go to school. What's the 12-year-old and the 6-year-old have to do with anything? Not saying that the grandmother shouldn't have got shot either, but how is it that you treat him as a juvenile? At 16, I think he should have been tried as an adult. And maybe If he was tried as an adult, Caitlyn wouldn't be dead right now. I'm glad race isn't being brought up into this either, Jason. I really am, because I don't think it has anything to do with race. I don't think the projects has anything to do with this case. I don't think race has anything to do with this case. I think this case has to do with somebody that is very troubled, that never got the help that he needed. What they did instead was locked him up for a couple of years in prison, and we all know, sorry, prison does not teach you right from wrong. We all know that. It's a bunch of people that are violent offenders in a jail being able to become smarter offenders, in my opinion. So, I think that somewhere along the lines, this boy did not get the help he needed, obviously, but he should not have been walking the streets, because obviously he has anger issues. So what did Caitlyn do? Not put her blinker on? Not drive fast enough to his liking? It's senseless. And now another innocent woman, this innocent woman is dead, and now they're going to throw the book at him. Now they're going to put him away for life because he admitted that he did it. Because there's so much evidence for that he did it. Now they're still saying that there might be more arrests, there might not. So now I'm wondering, was he alone? Was it his friends being like, hey, let's screw around and shoot this gun out the window and see what happens? Or was she on the side of the road and they wanted to rob her, but they didn't say anything was missing? So do you guys think it was road rage? Do you think it was just a 21-year-old with anger issues? Or do you think it was just two 21-year-olds driving in the car thinking it was all fun and game to shoot a gun while you're driving on the highway? An innocent woman heading to work to help others via her career, and he shoots her. So sad. I agree. Hey, Nari. Good morning. Little late for that. He already did his damage. Yep. Oh, what's going on with Pookie T? Pookie T, let's see. Nor should you. That woman has no business digging into your life, and what's wrong and shameful to do it. Nobody should be digging into anybody. You think it was a targeted attack, Captain Obvious? You think he was hiding and waiting, huh? Interesting. Samara thinks road rage. But do you think he was hired, Captain Obvious? I'm just curious. Do you think he was just looking for somebody for ha-has? Or do you think somebody hired him to follow her and shoot her? I'm not even sure if he was in the car. Yeah. Because like I said, that was what caught me, is that if he was in the car, you would think the shells would fall into his car, not onto the road. But I could see him sticking his arm out the window, because even if he was on the driver's side, say he was on the driver's side and he rolled up on her on the passenger side, there's no way he could be able to drive and spread his arm out the passenger window to shoot her for the shells to fall onto the road, unless he was the passenger and somebody else was driving the car. If somebody else was driving the car, then he could be on the passenger side. Or did he roll up on her on the driver's side? Then I could see him sticking his arm out the window and shooting. and falling on the ground. But they're not saying where the shells were located. They're not saying whether, all they're saying is on the road. I'm interested if they were found right next to her vehicle or were they found in the road itself. Because if they were found next to her vehicle, then it sounds like maybe she was pulled over and he got out of his car and shot her. Have you ever shot a gun in a car? You blow your eardrums out. I have not shot a gun in a car, but I have family that target shoot all the time. We, as everybody knows, my family has land and we go to the sand pits, and that's where everybody does, they line up their guns and shoot and stuff. And I've been out there when they've done it to target shoot, and let me tell you, it's loud. So I can only imagine how loud it is inside a car. It's not easy to shoot a gun in a moving vehicle and hit the target. I agree, especially at 21 years old. And because the exit was right there. If he was the driver, shells on the inside because the exit was on the right. Exactly. Yeah. I think he was the passenger, arm out the window. It's going to be interesting how this plays out. I wonder if he's going to, seeing he admitted to it, seeing that the person that came forward brought them to the gun. They've already did the ballistics, and it's 100% match that the gun it matched the bullets at the scene. So, is he going to just plead guilty and go to jail, or do you think he's going to take it to trial? Do you think he's going to say not guilty, even though I think, I think it's great for the family. I'm really hoping he just pleads guilty and does not put the family through the heartache of a trial. Because it did happen in Nashville, and her family is from Pennsylvania. So that's a lot of traveling and a lot of heartache. The news report says shell casings were found near the car. See, what I read was, Tally Girl, that they were on the road. And in the new what's it called? In the conference, sorry, still early in the morning. They were saying on the road. So I don't know if they were found near the car or not. But if you can find that report where it says that it was near the car, where the shells found on the driver's side or the passenger side, I would, if I had to guess, Nari, I would say driver's side, because if you look at her car, they took pictures of her car at the crime scene. If you take pictures of they took pictures of the crime scene. Her car is completely against that guardrail. Like you can tell you cannot open that passenger side door. Hold on. Let me actually show you guys a picture of that. Let's kind of pull this apart a little. Hold on. And the windows are and if you guys remember, the windows are shattered on the side, on the driver's side. So let me get to. Hold on. Let me get to images. Okay. Oh, maybe this picture would be better. This one would be better. All right. Let me come back to you guys. Screen share. Okay, Tally, I'll look in 1 second. So let me make a big screen for you guys. If you look, her car is right against this guardrail. there is no way she could open that passenger side door. Now, if you look, this window and this window are gone. They're gone. So he obviously shot in this window. I'm still curious about this. To me, it looks like a flip-flop. I don't know why, but it does. If you look at it, it looks like what goes across the toe and then what goes across the. To me, I don't know what that is, but I keep thinking it's a flip-flop. But it looks like it happened on the driver's side. Jenna, is there any trails to the highway? I think he was not in a car and just waiting. I don't know, Captain Obvious, because you got to remember that he lived on Porter Hill Road. She was on that exit. Right before that exit, the exit to Porter Hill Road is where she was found. She was found on the highway on I-440, but it was right at the exit of Porter Hill Road. So he could have. So you think maybe she pulled over to maybe answer a phone or something, and he was just randomly. The door is ajar a little bit, Remy, but I think the door was probably ajar because when the officer pulled up to check on her, and you can tell she's not in the car anymore. So I'm sure the door is open a little because she was removed from the car before. Was the window shot out, or how police gained entry to get to her if the doors were locked? Now, see, that's the other thing I was thinking, Tally Girl. But I don't think they would knock out 2 windows to unlock the door. I would think that they would knock out 1 window to unlock the door. And there's 2 windows smashed, gone. Was there a disabled or an accident scene anywhere near her car? She was a nurse. Not that they're saying. Could she have pulled over because, she thought somebody was in distress? I could see that. But they're not saying a lot. They're saying that he admitted it. They're saying that they found the gun. They're saying that the bullets matched the gun. They're saying he admitted to it. But as far as what happened, they're not saying. They're saying there might be arrests, there might not be arrests. Yeah, 2 windows. Here, I'll show you again. Let me screen share one more time for you guys. If you look, this window, the back passenger window is smashed out, and this little corner window is smashed out. And like I said, she's really close to that guardrail. So that's why I don't think she was pulled over. That's why I think she kind of rolled to a stop. Because even if you're going to pull over onto the side of the road to help somebody, to answer a phone call, maybe you drop something and you want to pull over to pick it up, you don't pull that far over. It looks like she could have even hit this guardrail. Like, I don't even think anybody could squeeze in between this guardrail and her car. So that's why I don't think she, in my opinion, because if you look at this car, this is the police car. See how far apart the police car and the guardrail is? Where somebody can walk into the passenger and at least open the door and get in. Hers, there is no possible way. So that's why I don't think she was pulled over, in my opinion. I get what you guys are saying, but I just don't see her actually hugging right up to that guardrail to pull over to do something. There's no unlock button near those windows. There is in the back seat. There is in the back seat. If you're in the back seat, you have the window and the door lock. So I can see them knocking out that passenger window to unlock the door. And I can see them not wanting to knock out the window on the driver's side door because that's where she was and that can affect evidence. Good morning, sunny side up. So if they could not get in, I could see them knocking out that back window because they're not going to want to knock out that front window. That's where she is, and they do not want to disturb that crime scene. Is there a dent on that back corner panel? It looks like there is, but you can't. That's the tough thing. We talked about that when I was live the last time because it does look like there's a dent, but right here, it looks like there's a dent, but nobody knows if that's an old dent, a new dent. You can't. That's the hard thing. You can't. Everybody gets dents in their car, but it would make sense because if he hit her in that back corner panel on the driver's side, it would make her go towards the breakdown lane. She ain't going to go turn the other direction if somebody hits her in that back corner panel. Somebody hits you in that back corner panel, you're going to go the opposite direction. Somebody hits you in that corner panel, you're going to go towards the breakdown lane and not towards the fast lane. Let me see, chat. I'm looking at this picture. Sorry, guys. If there's no rust, it's usually less than a year old. You're right. Do you know if the car was in park or if her foot was on the brake pedal? That's a good question, Tally, because that's exactly what I was wondering. And they're not saying. That's the hard part. It's all speculation because they're not saying. They're not saying whether her car was in park or in drive. They're not, because what I was thinking, even if she was driving, you got to think on the highway, that's 65 miles per hour. Okay. At least if you're not doing more. So you're driving on the highway, you're doing 65 miles. They're saying when she was shot, she died within 15 seconds. Where it hit her, it was pretty much instant. So driving 65, being hit, is going to make you take your foot off the gas, brake, something. I would think her steering, I would think there would be a bigger accident here. So that's where part of me thinks she was pulled over. Because for her to just kind of roll against that guardrail and stop at doing 65 miles an hour, I just don't see that. I would think that she would smash right into the guardrail. Right, Remy? She would have smashed into the guardrail, you would think. Because when we read news reports, they're saying that there was 6 shots fired. 6. But they think that the first shot hit her in the shoulder. And they're saying that she passed away quickly. That shot literally killed her within 15 seconds, they said. So I think if it hit her in the shoulder, it probably passed through her heart. If I have to guess, they're not saying. At 65 miles per hour, that guardrail wouldn't stop. I agree, Captain Obvious. Any car troubles, man? They're not saying, Remy. It's basically, we are just kind of dissecting. Jenna Moon, I think she was exiting, so she would be driving. That's true too, Samara. She would have been slowing down because they're saying that Porter Hill Road exit is the exit she would have took to go to work. So not only is it the exit that Dante lives on, but it's the exit to go to the hospital. So she would have slowed down. But still, she's not going to slow down to, I don't know. And I would like to know, they're saying she was near the exit, but they're not saying how close of the exit was she. Was it a mile and a half? Was it right there? It would be interesting. If a car is hit like that, one was at a high rate of speed, it would spin the car. The police called it right, Richard. You're right. It's called a pit removal. She would have literally went spinning. So I think that dent might have been old, but we could be wrong. Or was she parked and he rolled up and hit her? Or, like everybody said, was she even my personal opinion, I think it was road rage. In my opinion, I think it was road rage. I think this guy has anger issues, but I don't think he was alone. I really don't. I think he was a passenger. I don't think he was the driver. I think there was somebody in that car with him driving, and he was the passenger, and he got mad and put his hand out that window and shot 6 times. And I think that she let her foot off and coasted to where she rests. That's what I think. But we don't know. Was there bruises on her left upper shoulder or across her chest shoulder from the seatbelt? They're not saying, Remy. Good question, but they're not saying. They're not saying. All they're saying is he admitted. Somebody came in. He admitted. The person that came in and reported him brought them to the gun. So I'm thinking girlfriend, family member. I mean, come on, the family members are scared of him. You know, they know he has anger issues. I mean, he already shot half of his family members because he didn't want to go to school at 16. So I think it was a girlfriend or a family member or somebody, and he went home and wanted help. And obviously, this person helped him hide that gun and knew where that gun was. So when they came in to get the reward or be a good Samaritan, who knows? Either way, I think, and they led them to the gun, they're saying he admitted he shot her. They're not saying whether somebody was with him, but they're not saying what caused it. They did say where she was shot, how long it would take her to die, but they're not saying whether she was driving, whether she was on the side of the road. They're not talking anything. Maybe there was road rage and she pulled over to let him pass and he pulled up and shot. Good point, Tally. I can see that because, like I said, if he was driving in the car, you would think that the shell casings would be inside the car, and they weren't. They were on the road. And somebody said, oh, which I wanted to check. Was it you, Tally Girl? That they said that the bullet casings were found next to her car and not in the road. Was that you, Tally? Um, if it was, could you tell me what site that was that you wanted me to check? I'm scrolling up to see if I can find it. Pittsburgh Channel 2. Okay, hold on. Let me look and see what I can find. Pittsburgh Channel 2. See what I can find. Do you remember which article it was? Was it when he was arrested or where they were still looking for a suspect? Do you remember, Tally? If because they have a lot of articles on her. Her shift started at 7. They're saying she was shot anywhere between 6 and 6:09. They did have it from 6 to 6:30. But then when the autopsy came out and maybe in a lot of leads, they had shortened that. They shortened that she was found shot between 6 and 6:09. They did not find her until the officer did not find her until 8:54 p.m. Did they say what type of weapon was used? No. They're just saying that they found the gun and it matched. That's it, Richard. The bullet casings were found on the road. Yes, but Tally said that in the Pittsburgh one, it said that they were found on the road next to her car. So I'm curious, if they were found next to her car, that would mean she was pulled over. That would mean he rolled up on her, put his arm out the window, or got out of his car and opened fire. Because if they were next to her car, that means they were very close. So that's why I'm curious if they were next to her car or if they were found on the highway. Because if they were found on the highway, then she could still have been pulled over, but he wouldn't have. He wouldn't have been stopped. He would have been traveling. So they would have found the casings on the highway. But to have the casings found right next to her car, that means not only was she stopped, but he had to have been stopped. He had to have been right on top of her for those casings to fall where they did. And that's why they were reporting on the arrest. I did. All right, so maybe it's the first one. Let me look. I'll read it real quick and see what I can find. The 21-year-old man was arrested in Nashville for the murder of Caitlyn Kaufman, a nurse from Butler County who was shot and killed while driving to work in Tennessee. Devontae Hill was arrested by SWAT at 6:15 a.m. Friday at the East Nashville apartments. Police say bullets from his gun matched the shell casings found near Kaufman's wrecked SUV. Hmm. Interesting. So the shell casings were found near Kaufman's wrecked SUV. Police say they received more than 50 tips, but the one that broke the case wide open arrived late Thursday as the reward for information reached $65,000. Police say a concerned citizen came forward identifying Hill as a suspect. Oh, they do mention the gun, Richard. Sorry about that. That the person told police about a 9mm gun allegedly used in the murder, and police tracked his cell phone to the area that night. Hill is being charged with criminal homicide in connection with the 26-year-old Kaufman's death. She was shot and killed while driving down Interstate 440 in Nashville the night of December 4th. The Butler County native worked at St. Thomas West Hospital. While it was a relief to be able to sign the arrest warrant, it was exponential relief to be able to call Diane, who was back in Tennessee right now. We went on to say, obviously, a lot of tears, just joy. She said she was able to get some closure before the funeral. More than a week ago, an officer spotted Kaufman's vehicle on the side of the road around 9 p.m. and discovered that Kaufman had been shot. She died at the scene. Police believe the shooting happened between 6 and 6:30 while Kaufman was on her way to the hospital for her 7 p.m. shift. Police say Hill and Kaufman did not know each other, and investigators haven't determined if road rage played a role. They said Hill implicated himself in the murder, and they can't rule out additional arrests. Let's see. Oh, her mom had talked to her. Let's see. And that's it. So it was a 9 millimeter, according to the Pittsburgh Channel 2 News. If it was an automatic, the shell casings flying up and to the right. Crazy person, he took a life because of road rage. Richard Crape Point. Yep, very interesting. See, he has he has to be right there. Dude is unhinged, so road rage or just rage. Well, they said, Captain Obvious, I don't know if you were in here before or Richard, but at 16 years old, he was charged with attempted murder because he did not want to go to school. So he had pulled a 9 millimeter gun out of the closet and shot his 67-year-old grandmother twice, a 12-year-old sister, and a 6-year-old nephew at the age of 16. He was arrested, and here he is at 21, out to do it again. And his family are saying he's always had anger issues for both families. So only 2 driver's side windows blown out. Yes. Only the driver's side, the back passenger driver's side, and then that little window, that little corner window that you have in an SUV is out. But they're saying her car was wrecked. But was it wrecked because she was, but with the shell casings being right there, she wouldn't have been able to wreck it, her car, if she was at a stop. So if she was already pulled over, her car wouldn't have been wrecked because she was already pulled over. So that means she was driving when she was shot. And that means that she was able to get it over to the breakdown lane so she didn't hurt anybody else. That just shows what a wonderful woman she was. She was shot, but able enough to get it over so she didn't hurt anybody else. Do you know how many bullets were found? 6. 6. She was shot 6 times and they found all 6 casings. Yeah, I caught that. That's why I just said road rage killing. 21. Oh my god. Yes, he was 21. She is 26. But at 16, he was already charged with attempted murder. They no, it's pretty much all the same pictures. Let's see. Let me go back to all the pictures and see if there's a different angle that we might be able to look at. I wish they would give us like that front view of her car. Oh, here's a really good one. You can see that she is right on that guardrail. Hold on. Let me share it. Come on. There we go. See, she is right on that guardrail. She is right on top of it. And they have her door open. So she rolled there. No, sunny side up. This is not close to me. It just I just felt bad for her being a nurse going to work, innocently shot, and it just kind of tugged on my heartstrings, and I decided that I wanted to cover it. I guess he got away with his wild behavior before and thought it would be able to get away with it again. Yeah, yes, this happened in Nashville, sunny side up. Let me see if there's any more pictures. Sorry, kicked myself out. I clicked on the wrong thing. Let me see if I can find any more better pictures of the car. No, it's just those two. And here's a picture of her and her car, which is just heartbreaking. Such a sweet girl. But there's a big rock canyon right where her, like a rock wall. So I think he was definitely driving in his car and not on foot. I think he was a passenger, and I think it was road rage. Let's see. I'm wondering. Try this on for size. She stops for someone and they walk up from behind and smash the back window with the butt of the gun, then shot through the back driver's side window. See that? I could see that, Richard. The only reason why I don't see that is because of where her car is. Because, like I said before, when, say, you drop something, your cell phone, or somebody calls, or you need to readjust yourself, or whatever the case may be, and you pull over onto the breakdown lane. When you pull over past that white line, but you would not pull over touching that guardrail. And like I showed you on that other picture, it literally shows her up against that guardrail. So that's the only reason why I don't think she was pulled over. Because if she was pulled over, she wouldn't have hit that guardrail. And you can tell she hit that guardrail. Let me show that picture again, the one with her right up against it. That's the only reason why I personally don't think that she had pulled over. I think she was hit and she coasted to this spot. Because anybody that is pulling over, they would pull over pretty much where the police car is. They would want to be off the highway, but they wouldn't want to hit that guardrail. So that's the only reason why I don't think she was pulled over. I think she was driving, but that's my opinion. They said her vehicle was wrecked. I don't know if there was damage to the guardrail, they're not saying, but they're saying in this affidavit over here, well, not affidavit, sorry. They're saying right here, let's see, where is it? Let me get back to it and we'll reread it again. Dante was arrested by SWAT at 6:15 Friday. Police say the bullets from his gun matched the shell casings found near Kaufman's wrecked SUV. They're saying wrecked SUV. The guardrail is, you're right, the guardrail is in perfect condition. It's not knocked over, it's not bent, but they're saying her wrecked SUV. So, but there's no pictures of the front of her car. I would love to see pictures of the front of her car to see what that passenger side looks like. But in all the pictures that I've looked at, all it shows is the side and the back. I want to see the front of her car, but I don't think we're going to. Because I think that they should have used different words than wrecked, because when you think wrecked, you think, you know, big damage, smashed in, you know, light shattered on the guardrail, knocked over. When you think of wrecked, anybody, I know for me, when I think wreck, I think smushed in, broken, whatever. I think that she definitely hit that guardrail, but I don't think she hit it with a lot of force. She might have cracked the, made a dent in her front panel or something, but I think that the news should have used a different word than wrecked, in my opinion. Because I know when you think wreck, kind of like you, Richard, you're thinking the guardrail. I bet they mean the small dent on the left rear quarter panel wreck. Yep. Yep. I agree. I think wrecked shouldn't have been the word they used. The way that cars are made today, even a shopping cart hitting your vehicle makes some damage. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And you don't even have to, I've had where I've backed up. Okay, guys, let me talk about. I've backed up and bumped into a pole, and I absolutely got it. I might have been going 2 miles an hour. I was just backing up, and I thought that I was still far enough away from the pole, and I wasn't, and I barely tapped it, and I had a dent and scratches. So I agree with you on that, Richard. There couldn't have been much force. Nope, I don't think so. Can you put the picture back up of the car next to the guardrail, please? Yes, I can do that. Hold on. Let's see. I wish I could make it bigger for you guys. Because for me, I can really see it. But for you guys, when I look at you guys' screen, it's so small. I wonder if I save it. Let me try saving it, and then I can enlarge it. Hold on. Let me save this picture, because then I can do it differently. Because then we can enlarge it. Let me get to it. Hold on, guys. Bear with me 1 second. Because with me saving it, come on, open up. Open, open, open. Are you going to open for me? Thank you. Open. All right, let me go to screen share. Share. All right, let's make this picture a little bigger for you guys. Are we on full screen? We are. Okay. Okay, so now that I made it a little bigger, you can see the dent in the guardrail. There's a dent right here, and there's a dent right here. I don't see anything on the ground. But do you guys see how it's smooth, 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 dent, dent, smooth? Do you guys see that? Let me get back to the guardrail are meant to take damage. The other one, please. Which one? The one of her on the side where it shows the blown the picture where it shows the windows. Is that what one you're talking about? That's a shadow, not. Is that the picture you're asking about? Let me see. Let me stop sharing. Are you talking about? Hold on, I'm not looking at StreamYards. Give me 1 second, guys. Are you talking about this picture? Are you talking about this picture, Richard? That one? Okay, let me save this one and then we'll go through both of them and see, because skid marks are a good question. Hold on. Let me stop sharing. Let me screen share this one. Save this one. And then we can kind of see about dissecting it a little. All right. All right, here we go. Let me screen share. So we have both of them now, and we're screen share. Oh, I have them both. So let's blow this one up a little. There's something right here. I don't know what it is. It's like a piece of a car, but I don't know if it's her piece of the car. So if you look at this one, like I said, I keep thinking this is a sandal. I don't know why, but I do. The only reason why it doesn't make me feel like a sandal is because there's no heel to it. But it looks like a sandal to me. And if I minimize it, I can't see what this is right here. But it looked like it's a part of a car. I don't know if it's her car or not, but there is. Let me see if we can see it better in the picture they give us. Let's see if I can find this. Here it is. Let's look at this. I don't know what this is. But you would think she would have to roll over that. So now let's go back to that other picture. Oh, wrong way. All right. We can't see any skid marks because they're not showing that. There's no skid marks over here, but they're not far enough right. I can't see any marks or cracks. Either can I. No, it doesn't. So let's go to the next picture. Oh, wrong way. This way. There is no scratches on that guardrail at all. There is that bump right here. This window is smashed out. This window is smashed out. There's something right here. And when we go to that picture, it's a pretty big thing. I can't tell what it is, but She had to have missed it or rolled over it. This does not, I don't know if this is skid marks or not. I don't know if that's a glare. I know this is water. But if you look, I can't tell. I think it's a glare. Because here's a glare over here, and it kind of looks like the same. I don't think she slid down that rail. No, I don't think she slid down that rail. That car was hit from behind. Look at that left corner. Yeah. And that's what people were saying because like Remy said, if it was old, if it was an old dent, which is true, it would have rust on it. Huh. Why isn't I'm frozen? Hold on, guys. It would have rust on it if it was old. And it's not. Because that's true. When you get a dent, it kind of, that looks like a fresh dent. I'll agree with that. So it looks like she must, and they keep saying wrecked car. So I'm thinking, and that would make her pull over. So what if he hit? Okay, let's put it this way. What if it was road rage? Say he hit her. He tapped her and hit her. What would a woman do or any person do? If you're on a highway and you get tapped and hit, you chug forward, you got hit. What are you going to do? You're going to pull over onto the side of the road so you can locate your damage, hoping that the person pulls up behind you, hoping the person that pulls up behind you. So if there is any damage, you can swap insurance. So is that what happened? Is it that he hit her? She pulled over. He pulled up behind her, got out of the car, stood there and just opened fire instead. I don't know. Could have happened that way. So if that's the case, why would he hit her? Have her pull over, get out of the car, and shoot her. Would that make it still road rage? Or would that make it that he was looking for her and needed a reason for her to pull over to shoot her? Look at that back right above that black line. Is that a light or a dent? Look at the back right above the black line. Is that a light? All right, back right. Back right. Black line. This is the windshield wiper. You know how SUVs have windshield wipers? Is that what you're talking about? That's a windshield wiper. If that's what I don't know if that's what you're talking about. It is hold on, they did say what kind of car she has. Hold on. I just have to find it. I know that they did say. I've opened so many articles about this. I know that they did say what kind of car she had. I just got to find it. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm not looking at StreamYard, so bear with me. My computer is like, oh my God, you're opening so many things. Why did you do that? She didn't. Ah, who's talking? Where? I have too many windows open. All right, let's see. I want to say, uh, okay, it is a gray Mazda SUV. They don't say the year. All they say is, Nashville nurse has been killed by shots fired in her gray Mazda SUV as she traveled on I-40. The SUV was found stopped on the shoulder at 8:52 p.m. So, it's a Mazda. What did Captain Obvious say? I hate hydroplaning. That's what. Okay, yes, it's a Mazda SUV. Does not say. I would like a minute with this. Jason, I think that's something. Back of the driver's side, right above the black line above the bumper. I think it's just the shadow or water dripping off because it starts right underneath where the windshield wiper is and it drips all the way down. So I think it's just water. Because you're talking about right here. I think it's water dripping off of the windshield wiper because it obviously was raining that night because it's all wet. But if that's what you're talking about, this, it looks like rain. What we know so far, I think road rage, he bumped her, she was pulling over, he didn't get out, he just pulled up. Either that or he got out and shot her because they're saying those bullet casings were found right next to her car. I am Googling and a 2012/17 are interchangeable. Damn, I missed that one. Oh, the car? Yeah. It kind of does look like a Nissan though, but nope, it's a Mazda. The trim is plastic, the CX3. I wonder if I can see. It's not bright enough to see what, because I can see the little writing underneath the brake. I mean, underneath the brake light that says if it's a CRV, SU. But I think you're right, Tally Girl. The only thing is that I agree that it was road rage. I agree that he bumped her. I agree she was pulling over. I just don't know if he got out of the car or just rolled up on her. That's the only thing I don't know. But I definitely will stay up on top of this case and I will bring it every time I hear. I just really hope with him confessing that this poor family will not have to go through the heartache of a trial. As a crime buff, as a person that's compassionate and stuff, I don't want a trial for this family. I do not want them to have to go through that. It's really long and drawn out and hard. They just need to be able to lay her to rest and learn how to heal. But as a crime buff person, somebody that enjoys true crime, would I like to see a trial? I can't say I wouldn't, but I would rather it not be a trial. If there is a trial, we will definitely be covering it. Her window wasn't open. If they shot, it would have broken the window. Yeah, the window wasn't open. It was raining. It's definitely raining. Yes, that whole car is nothing but plastic. I agree. So that's what I know. How did the police track him down? By somebody coming forward. Somebody that obviously was very close to him, because they were even able to bring him to the gun. Not only did they say that he shot her, but they even were able to bring the police to the gun. Is there a police news conference scheduled? There already was a tally girl, and if you rewind to the beginning, that's what I started off with, was the news conference. And they're really just not saying much. They're just saying that he was arrested, that the bullets were 100% matched to the 9mm gun that they were brought to. He was arrested and he admitted to doing it. That's it. That's all they're saying. They're saying that there might be a suspect, might not. They're not saying yet. But it kind of makes you think that there was. I believe there was another person in that car. I think the person, there was a person driving, and I think he was the passenger. And maybe the driver is the one that came forward. And maybe that's why they're debating whether they're going to arrest them or not as an accomplice. I definitely will keep you updated on this case, Sunny Side Up. I'm really interested in this case. But everybody just, say a little prayer, or if you don't pray, just hope for peace today, because Caitlyn is being laid to rest today. I'm grateful that the family was able to have a little bit of closure before her funeral, and they at least know that there will be justice for this senseless crime. So with that, I think I'm going to go and enjoy my Saturday. And I thank you guys for all coming in and brainstorming with me and picking this apart. I love doing it. I love digging into cases like this. Even if it's senseless and heartbreaking, it's just what we like to do. That's why we are in the crime community. So I hope you guys all have a wonderful weekend. Maybe people are decorating their tree or just hanging out and staying warm, but please enjoy your weekend. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And if you could hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down, you guys know I like either one. Please do so. And I will keep you up to date as this case continues. And everybody stay healthy, stay happy, and stay you. And I will talk to you guys on Monday. I will not be live tomorrow at any time, because I get to spend the day with my granddaughter. So I am going to enjoy every minute of that. But I will be live Monday morning. So I'll talk to you guys all then, and hopefully the drama is quiet this weekend. I have a feeling it's not. But let's hope. Have a great day, guys. Bye.